what's up? Hello, Katie here. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about the books that I might read in December. Here's the thing. November's TBR, it did not go according to plan. It did not. I thought I was going to be in a fantasy mood. No. No. I have wrung that towel dry with fantasy this year. Like, I just can't do it. So I think that I'm in a horror romance mood. So that's what I think I'm going to be doing in December. But we're going to go based on vibes. We're going to go based on vibes. We're going to go based on mood reading. But I'm going to tell you the books that I am pretty sure is where the vibe is leading and that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reading. Like, I'm 75% sure they will get read in December. But before we do that, we're going to talk about your girl's favorite sponsor, Book of the Month. Hey, it's sponsor Katie, here to talk about Book of the Month. Do you not know about them? Well, allow me to lift the rock that you've been living under. Book of the Month is the most popular book subscription service that there is out there. And what they do is that their team vets like hundreds of new and early releases each month. And they curate a list of 5 books from 5 different genres and tell you, hey, listen, not only are these the best books, we really think you're going to like them, but also they're the ones that people are going to be talking about. So you don't have to do so much time researching on what you want to read. They really bring it down to those 5 books for Christmas. Book of the Month was like, we want to give you a little Christmas gift. And if you use the code JOLLY in December, then you will receive your first book for $5. A History of Wild Places. And what it is it's like this perfect isolated town, and there's these like 2 sisters, and then one of their husbands, like his abandoned truck is found on the side of the road, and apparently like you can't leave the town because if you do, you're gonna bring this plague called the rot into the town, and it's gonna like disrupt their ecosystem or whatever. I don't know, but when I heard that there's something called the rot, I was like, this sounds like a cult. This sounds fun. I don't know. I'm intrigued. A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. So this is a thriller, and this is about a girl that when she is younger, her father confesses to this serial killings, and he goes to jail, and she's dealing with that. Then she becomes a psychologist, and then all of a sudden all these local women start going missing and are being murdered, and she's like, I think trying to unmask the killer. I feel like I heard Gabby say that this was one of her anticipated releases, so I think I'm gonna get to it this month. And then we have Olga Dies Dreaming. So this is a contemporary fiction about 2 Puerto Rican sisters who are vying for the American dream. But after Hurricane Maria comes through and destroys everything, it sweeps their estranged mother back into their lives, and things fall apart from there. All the girlies have been talking about this one. It is The Holiday Swap. This is a real hot ticket right now. And this is a romance, and it's about these 2 identical twins who, when they were kids, they would always swap places. And now in their adulthood, they really feel like their life needs a reset. So they decide for the Christmas holiday to swap lives. Now, the problem is, of course, in this scenario, they both come across very dashing young men, and they're starting to fall in love with them. And now maybe pretending to be their sister is just not the best idea. So I'm intrigued. I'm a Gemini. I love a twin story. So I know I don't read a lot of romance, but I think I might read this month. Somebody's Daughter. So this is delving into the world of a young, Black, poor girl in Indiana and a family that is fragmented by incarceration. And this is really showing like how isolating that childhood can be. It is about a girl whose father, she has no idea why he has been in prison. And when she does find out years and years later, it just breaks up her entire world. She gets into a relationship with a boy that her mother hates. He ends up assaulting her. And after the rape, which there is a trigger warning for rape in this book, she doesn't tell her family about it. She keeps all these secrets, the secrets that are being held back from her family to her, and how isolating that situation can be. Real quick, I do also want to highlight that every month you can do add-ons for Book of the Month. So you can do 2 add-ons to your books for a very good price. So this month, I want to highlight a Goodreads Choice nominee, and this is John Green's series of essays. I do not know how to pronounce that word. I've tried to look it up, and I don't trust anybody, okay? I'm like, I don't trust you that that's how you say that. I don't know. This is supposed to be a series of essays on the faults and merits of ourselves. And this is looking at how human beings, like as a species, are far too powerful and yet also not powerful enough. So I have heard very fantastic things about this book. I think John Green is an amazing person. His brother Hank Green is an amazing person. So I am looking forward to reading this very soon. Those are going to be all of the Book of the Month selections for December. Thank you so much, Book of the Month, for sponsoring this video. If you want to check it out, there will be a link down below. And all of that to say, let's get right into the TBR. The first book that I'm gonna read in December, I know I'll be reading because I just got a skip the line of the audio on Libby, and that is The Plot by Jean-Hanf Korelitz. And I also was planning on reading this physically because I was watching the live reading sprint that Kayla and Aaron were doing, which if y'all are watching this, keep doing those, keep doing them. Oh my God, I was obsessed. I read so much in those sprints, they're so good. So I asked them, I had DNF'd Birthday Girl in that sprint, and I said, what should I pick up next? And they both voted for The Plot. So I was already planning on reading it, and then when I got to skip the line, I was like, hello, it's speaking to me. So I have heard from Gabby describing this book that it is about a author who is a teacher, and he is there to like kind of craft writers, but he's not really like feeling it because his books haven't been doing well and he doesn't really have inspiration and it's not going well and he just doesn't really want to see other people succeeding. And one of his students is a super cocky asshole that's like, I have the best book idea of all time. It literally can't fail. And when the teacher hears the plot, he's like, oh my God, that's literally foolproof. That's amazing. Like that is stunning. So a couple years go by, and he finds out that that student has died. And he died not long after that conversation with the teacher. And he's like, did he ever publish that book? Finds out he didn't publish a book. So the teacher decides to steal the idea and write the book himself. So I don't know what happens in this book. I'm assuming, you know, my assumption is that somebody's gonna get blackmailed. I'm assuming he's gonna get blackmailed. That's my assumption. You know what'd be wild if the dude isn't dead? That would be crazy. What if he faked his own death? I don't know. I have no idea what it's about. Planning on reading it. The girlies love it. So I'm down to read. I want to listen to the audiobook for Suffer the Children. This is a book that I heard Allie from Hardback Hoarder talking about. And for some reason, it is just stuck in my memory. And I don't think that they have an audiobook on Libby. So I'm just going to buy it on Libro. But this, she has said, is a book where this whole town, something happens and like over the course of like 2 days or something, all of these people's children die. Like, I think they get sick and die. And then a couple days later, they are like kind of resurrected as vampires. But she said that it's basically where these parents had to watch their children die. And that broke them so internally and irrevocably? You get it. It broke them so much emotionally that when their children come back as vampires, they're going to do anything they can to keep their children alive. Like even though they're vampires, they're like, yeah, I'm not doing this again. Not going to let you die again. And there's only so much blood that can go around and only so much they can feed off of these parents and such. So it all goes awry. She said that shit hits the fan and that it's really creepy. And I really want to read it. Like, I don't know, but the way she described it just made it sound so good. So I am planning on buying the audiobook for this month. I want to physically read Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I love this cover. I mean, it's a cheeky little romance cover, but I kind of dig it. And I like the size of the font and everything on the pages. I feel like I could physically read this. This is a romance. I believe it's erotica. I believe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really into romance, so what do I know? But this is a modern retelling of Hades and Persephone, but it's where Persephone, her mom, tries to marry her off to Zeus and she's trying to get out of it. So like she makes a deal with Hades to like live down in the underworld basically. And then it's like, I guess they fall in love and then Hades trying to like keep her there because Zeus is trying to get her back. I don't know, but I've heard really good things about this, really good things. And whenever I DNF'd Birthday Girl, I was like, yeah, it was just kind of boring. I wasn't into it, but I love Hades and Persephone. Like, I love that storyline and I've heard good things about this. So I am intrigued. I hope that I am in a physical reading mood in December because this would be the first one that I'll pick up. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I don't know. A lot of girlies have been reading this recently. A lot of girlies have been reading this and I haven't seen like 5 stars. I feel like I've seen a lot of 3 and 4 stars, but I'm just like intrigued. Like, I want to know what y'all are talking about. I hear so many people say that this is not a romance, like that this is not romance. This is like a drama. This is contemporary. And I'm like, okay, like Colleen Hoover, hello? The only thing I've read by Colleen Hoover is Layla, and I did like it. I gave it 4 stars, so that was a good time. And I've heard that this book will make you cry. I heard it's like depressing, it's sad. And I was like, you know what? It's cold out. It's December. maybe we need a little depressing moment. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't know what this is about. I kind of want to go into it knowing nothing. All I know is that it's sad and that some people don't like it. I honestly don't know, but I'm planning on giving it a shot. Whew, talking about a depressing time. In November, I read And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Bachman. And then a while back in 2021, I read Anxious People by Frederick Bachman and absolutely loved them. Both of them are 5 stars. I think this is about an old man. It's like an old crotchety man. There's not a summary. It's about an old crotchety man, just, you know. And I think I think these people move in next door that are like young and hip and like cool, and he's like all crotchety. And I think it's like him becoming happy or learning how to be happy. I honestly don't know. You'd think I would. I feel like I've talked about this book enough, but I don't remember. But I want to read Bachman. And then I'm just going to tell you my maybes. So I'm not going to get into it, but if you know the books and you think I should read them, let me know. So the first one is Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. And then I have The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker. Also Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So those are all options of books that I might be vibing in December. And if I hear from you that you think I should read them, let me know and I'll pick one of these or 2 and I'll read these in December. So leave a comment. I need to pop in because I actually realized that there are quite a few things that I am wanting to read this month that I forgot to mention. And it's that since it's December and I'm trying to decide what my favorites are of the year, I'm kind of wanting to reread some of my favorites from the beginning and middle of the year to see if they can be like cemented as a favorite. Now, one of them is that I listened to the audio for A Dowry of Blood, and now I'm really wanting to physically read it to see if I can cement this as a favorite, because the listening experience was a 4.5, but I read the first couple pages of this physically, and I really think the physical experience is going to be a 5-star and going to bump it up to a favorite. So this is a retelling of Dracula's Brides. And this is about Constanta, who was one of his brides that thought that she was the only one. And it's about a very manipulative, gaslighting, aggressive, like domineering relationship where she is so in love with him. And you as the reader is seeing the things he's doing and seeing all the frays in the relationship and realizing that he's not telling the truth. And that's just so gaslighting. Like the gaslighting in this book, it's extreme. Anyway, I also am wanting to reread Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I love Frederick Bachman. I just read And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer this last month and absolutely adored it. And I read this in January, I believe, and loved it. And this is about a bank robbery, kind of. It's about these people being held hostage after a bank robbery. And you're following all these people and their lives and how they ended up there, and how even though they're all very frustrating and kind of annoying, you fall in love with them because you see their story and you realize that they're just people, and you need to like recognize the loneliness in other people and the sadness in other people and know that you're never going to know everything about them and they're never going to know everything about you, and that people need to stick together and they need to help each other. And this is just so good. It's so good. There's so many beautifully written segments about parenthood that I really want to go back and highlight, and segments about being an adult and how hard that is. So I want to reread this one in December. Hopefully I will. The last 2, I'm not sure if I will, but I might, and that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I read this a while ago, gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it. I kind of want to reread this to annotate, but then again, I kind of want to wait until the movie's going to come out. I don't know. Everybody knows what this is about, but I'll kind of give you a brief thing. It is World War II. We love World War II historical fiction in this house. This is about 2 sisters, and they deal with the war in very different ways. So it's Vivienne, I always pronounce her name wrong. Vivienne, it's I don't know. Anyway, maybe Vivienne, I don't know. It's something like that. And she's the older sister, and she is very like, okay, we're going to go by the rules. We're going to do everything right because then they'll leave us alone. And the younger sister, Isabel, is wild. She's a wild child. She's very aggressive. She didn't have a mother growing up. And she is like, no, I want to fight. I want to join the resistance. And you're following both of them. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. Kristen Hanna cannot miss. Like, her writing is so stunning. And I cried so hard reading this book. So I want to reread it before the end of the year. It is pretty big, so I don't know if it's going to happen. but I would like to. And then the last book is Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi. I am obsessed with this cover. Like, are you kidding me? I believe this is going to be one of my favorites of the year. I do want to reread it to make sure it wasn't just like, I read it once and it's a favorite, and then when I reread it, I'm like, oh, okay, that was good. This is about two sisters, again, Jane and June. And one of them is a starving artist, and the other one is like a stockbroker or something. She works for a bank. I don't know. She does something with stocks. She's got a lot of money. She's living in New York City, and she's got this like dope ass apartment until she finds out that she has cancer. And she tells her sister and is like, don't tell anybody else, but I need somebody. And they've been estranged like basically for like 10 years because they just like can't stand each other, but they love each other. But you know, it's like a sister relationship. The sister relationship in this book is so realistic. It's so good. There is a lot of trigger warnings in this book that you would not think about going in. Like obviously there's trigger warnings about cancer, but the big thing about this book that I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Like people need to know not to read it if they can't handle it, but if they can, this is stunning, is there is so much like descriptive real talks about eating disorders in this book, and I loved it. I was like, holy shit, this is so good. Like it just makes your skin crawl, but in a way that you know is real. And I absolutely loved it. I love the sister relationship. It's very dark, sarcastic, twisty humor. I loved it. I'm hopefully planning on rereading this in December. We'll see. But anyway, these are the rereads that I'm hoping to get to in December. Okay, I know that was pretty short and there's not a bunch of books on my TBR, but again, this is about the vibes. Like, I might honestly just go on Libby and then whatever's on Skip the Line, just pick it and read it because I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I would really like some really engaging, fast-paced thrillers. So if you have any recommendations, leave those down below, especially if they have like a Samantha Downing or John Mars vibe. I really want to read something like that right now, which I'm hoping is what I'll get in the plot. We'll see. But if you want to follow me on Goodreads or Instagram, they are going to be linked down below, as well as a myriad of other links, and also Book of the Month's link. If you want to check them out, that would be awesome. They do such good work for the BookTube community. And I want to say, if you're having a good day, no, you better be having a good day. You better be having a good day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is that you're having right now. And I hope that I see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.